Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the DJ Force X podcast. This is actually my first podcast of 2025, and I'm extremely excited to have Janine from the band Vukovi. Welcome, Janine.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, good. How are we today?
Do you know what? We're actually really nervous and like a bit of an undertone of anxiety, but also excitement. It's such a fine line between those two emotions, because it's finally happening in a few hours.
It is, and that's what we're here to talk about today is your new album, which is called My God Has Got a Gun. And it is out on the 24th of January. But by the time this is released, it will be out. So everyone, you can stop this interview. You can go and listen to the album.
Oh,
Don't worry about this. Go listen to the album. Have that on repeat. Or even better, buy the album. Um, you know,
yeah,
support the physical product. So you own a CD. You own. Is it coming out on vinyl?
yeah. It is. We've actually done quite well in the vinyl pre-sales. So I love that our fans buy our vinyls.
Yep.
Like it's such a I think it's great if you can shift some physical.
Yes.
Always great. It's always better.
Yeah, it is definitely, and I'm a big supporter of the physical product. Just probably being the age that I am, but I love vinyl. And I'm so happy it's made like a almost a full comeback for especially bands like yourself that
Yeah,
have the opportunity to actually release on vinyl. Whereas back when I always talk about when I'm in a band. I'm going to try and stop doing this, but back when I was in a band, it was really expensive because vinyl was very kind of like it was out of fashion. So there wasn't many pressing plants. There wasn't many
yeah.
um, opportunities to do that. So CD it was, and then digital came along, and we just sort of did that. But being a DJ from back when and now, and these turntables behind me, um, I love vinyl. I've got like boxes of it surrounding me in this room.
Yeah,
Um, I will add yours to my collection. Don't worry.
amazing.
Um, um, uh, but yeah, no, I've a lover of physical product because it's so much more. It adds so much more to the album.
Yeah, and it's a physical thing. Like I think vinyl's a piece of art. Like put it on your wall, like you'll keep it forever. Like it's
Exactly.
something you can hold in your hands.
I mean, the vinyl, you've got the music in your hands, like you've got the groove.
Yeah,
I could talk about that for hours. But yeah, it's and obviously, like you say, the art, yeah, is a piece of art, but it's the artwork as well that you put time into for the album.
yeah,
You get to see it on a big scale. Even with the CD booklet, you get like continuous art going through.
yeah,
And it's all part of the work. It's all part of the obviously the album and everything like that. This is why I love the physical products. I mean, digital does have its place in my life. Don't get me wrong. When I'm
yeah,
on the go, it's great to just have my phone and my headphones on and
yeah.
don't not carrying around a CD player in my pocket or a tape player in my pocket, um, or anything like that. But yeah, for like when I'm at home, I like to put the record on. I like to put the CD
I
on.
like that.
And
So our vinyl actually has a bonus track on it as well, and it's actually mixed differently. The vinyl is all one sort of track,
okay,
so there is obvious differences between the record on line and the vinyl, physical vinyl.
okay, cool. Well, like I said, I'm going to be picking that up.
Yeah,
Interesting to see. But this is your follow-up from, I think it was 2022. You released your last album. Was it Nula?
yeah.
Um, and I got on board with Vukovi. I'm going to say I'm late to the party, but I'm on the bus now. In 2023, I got sent a track, Mercy Kill.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
I had to track it back, so I was like, I've heard this band before. How far do I go back with them? Because I DJ nightclubs and stuff like rock clubs down this way, down south, and I always get sent music from various press agencies and like things like that to play on the. I used to be on the radio as well,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, and I've been playing. I played Mercy Kill a couple of times at the club and everything, and it was always nice
Oh,
reaction.
cool. At the club.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sort of like when I always get the opportunity to play new music, so it's usually early doors, but
Right.
we've got quite a good crowd of people that turn up early and are like who dig like new music, obviously, because later on when they're drunk, it is going to be Green Day, it is
Oh
going to
yeah. All the bangers.
exactly. But early on, it gives us that chance to kind of like grow and at least play some of these new tracks, like yourselves, and like other bands of your sort of stature and things like that, just to give them that exposure. And a lot of them stick and things like that. And I've had requests for your music as well, which is great.
Nice.
So, like I said, got on board a couple of years ago, and it's great to actually finally have you on the show as well.
Yeah, it's a
Because
pleasure.
I did ask before, and we couldn't make it work for whatever reason through whoever it was at that point. Um,
Yeah.
but this time round, you've got this album out. It's on Sharp Tone Records. And how did that relationship come about? Like, because obviously before it was more you were on independent labels before
Yeah.
with your previous releases.
Yeah.
But how did this relationship come about? Because it's quite a nice little jump.
Yeah, to be honest, wasn't expecting it. Got basically just got an email,
Hmm.
just like, "Hello, do you want to sign a record deal?" Um, we we did actually have some interest from Warner as well,
Yeah,
um, but we have been fans of Sharptone for years, and that was a bit of a dream label for us. Um, and I always think with majors sometimes they want like a 40 album deal, so that's no good for us.
no,
I'm not saying that's what they offered us. I'm exaggerating, but
yeah,
I think like so the guy A&R guy at Sharptone, Nathan Barley, like he's a total legend.
yeah,
He came. He was up in Glasgow. We met for like coffee and had a good chat. And he came to one of our shows. I think he came to the Bristol show. He always likes to go out of London or away from the hometown to see what is actually happening.
yes,
And it was a great show, really good show. And I think from there, the relationship sort of grew.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been a dream label, and they've been so supportive in letting us just do what we want to do. Like I really wasn't expecting that. I didn't know what to expect, but like they've been so incredible with just trusting our vision and letting us do what we do.
That's amazing. I mean, the sort of bands that I've had from Sharp Tone on the show before, and it is a plethora of genres within sort of the rock field, if you will.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people said the same. They've all said the same. In fact, it's a very kind of
Mm,
open. And I've known of Nathan. I don't know Nathan.
right.
I've known of him for many years. Date probably 15 plus years ago, like of him being, was he a writer or did he have another label? I can't remember. He's kind of
I think
worked
he's
his
on
way up.
another label. Yeah, he's done a lot.
Yeah, and I think I've I follow him on LinkedIn of all the rock and roll places to follow him, um, and I've seen that kind of growth through the years. And I think we used to connect on various things, and then obviously as he's moved up, and now he's A&R with Sharp Tone and whatnot, and part of that family. Yeah, and like I said, he's a legend within this industry, especially in this country, and the fact that he likes to go outside of London is massive because it was all
Oh, he's everywhere.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
always
I
like a
feel like with
thing.
Shark Tone, a lot of the Shark Tone people that I've met, like they really are on the ground. Like they're going to things, they're going to festivals. Like they're not just talking to you behind a laptop.
Yeah,
They're physically get around, and they're very supportive that way.
yeah, no, definitely. And I've known a few of the staff there, and with obviously Nuclear Blast being their like sort of family with that as
Yeah, yeah.
it's that's I mean that's a huge like within the metal community that's a huge label.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I mean it's fantastic. I mean it's like it's great that they are going out and finding like I mean I'd say you're not a new band because you're on your like fourth album, but
Honestly, man, I think our journey has been so gradual, and I think we've always had a bit of an underdog status. I don't know why. Um, but that sort of just encouraged us to be ourselves and do what we do and not really give a fuck about what other people, when I say what other people think, but like trying to fit in to get hype or whatever, like that's such a fucking waste of time.
yeah,
Well, this is my opinion and with my experience.
yeah, that's
Um, people aren't fucking stupid. Like they see through falseness, and they see genuinity and they want genuinity. Um, and that's just who we are as people. Like we started this, but we had no before, we just had no idea what we're doing.
Mm,
Like no idea. Um, we've learned so much along the way. We've made mistakes. Like we've tried to master our songwriting. Like all of that just gets better. It doesn't. You don't just I mean, obviously there is exceptions, but I think realistically, you don't just go, I'm going to be in a band, like, and you're just amazing. It takes so long for you to find who you are.
Yeah,
And that also comes alongside living and experiencing life as you go as well. So you're constantly evolving, and that's how we like to see ourselves. Like we just, I think there's a sort of connection in our souls with Vukovi, and it does seem to evolve with us as people.
yeah. That's really cool, and it's like it's good to like because there's a few artists that appreciate the slow burn as well. Like you've kind of like along the way you've tried stuff like you said you made mistakes. Some things have been good, some things have been bad, and you know like I say you're on your fourth album, so it's kind of like you've got that sort of like creativity to at least produce music in that respect
Yeah, yeah,
and be present when you need to be and you're right with the hype things and a lot of people you can see through it and like one moment you could go viral and then the next day you're forgotten.
yeah,
It's as easy
yeah,
with that, but if you go for that not that you go for the slow burn, but if that happens and you can
yeah,
ride that wave, if
yeah,
you will, and it pays off so much long down the road because you've got
yeah,
fans with attention spans for one,
yeah,
um, which is good because then they stick around. They always kind of check what you're doing. Whereas the sort of the hype fan with like my kids' attention spans are terrible. But that's
yeah,
probably my fault. But and they'll be on one thing 1 minute, and then like next week it's like, no, actually that's not.
yeah.
Like you'll make a comment like, "Oh, are you still listening to?" It? And they're like, "No, no, we're on to
But it's
whatever now." So
yeah. And as an artist, that's like a minefield.
yeah,
Like, you're just like, I can't. What do I do? Like, how do I do this? How do I, what? How? What's you feel like you can't do it right in terms of social media? And I don't have the answer, the formula. No one does.
no,
And it does sound, I don't know, a bit of hippie mentality here, but the only what thing that we can control is who we are as people and what we put out and what we create. And we when this album comes out in a few hours, like that's none of our business what you think of it.
yeah,
Now it's when the world has it, like that's it. Like we have no control over how this album's going to be received. But the only thing we can take from that is that we've been ourselves and we've been completely genuine, and it comes from a very real place
nice,
with people with real problems and
yep,
real life.
yeah. Yeah, and that's telling in the music as well, and like in the lyrics and everything. People can hear that if they're listening to the album, go listen to it. But no, there's some absolute banging tracks on there. I love the last track, Bladed. I thought
I
that
was just going to ask you what if you had like a standout one like that. For me, is one of my favorites. Like
yeah,
that's
it was like I was listening to the whole album. There's a couple of others that like Fuck It Up was good.
you're actually the second person today that said that
All right,
like
cool.
in my interviews. And the first two that said it does keep changing. That's what I find that's what really fascinates me when the album is out and you have so many pockets of people that like no this is the best one, no
Yeah,
this is my favorite. Like it's yeah, I
yeah.
just want to try and enjoy that.
No, it's great. I
um
mean, I one thing I like about like there's been quite a few albums recent, especially the end of last year, where I've not skipped any tracks. Like totally being honest with you, I haven't skipped any of your tracks when I've had it on a few times. Yeah, so with your album, like there was no skips, so it was a great like listen, multiple
That's a
listen.
massive compliment because I think when we do rate albums, I'm always so conscious of like I don't want any fillers. Like you just want bang, 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 and it doesn't mean all sound the same. It's hard to try and capture that.
Yeah, it's like because there was a lot of
Keep the
artists at one
interest, as you
point.
said. People's attention spans are
Yeah.
shite these days.
Exactly, and I was like sort of like thinking like there's a few sort of albums, it's a few probably over the past few years, where it's basically a bunch of singles, and there's no continuity through the album, which is something that was lacking for a long time. A lot of bands like yourself are taking that back now and actually creating albums rather than creating that 2.5 minute song
Uh,
that needs to go up on something or needs to be sold on sync or whatever.
I-
Um, and that's what's coming back, I hope, like with the advent of this of new vinyl wave is the actual
yeah,
concept of an album. Like I know your last album Nula was a concept album, is that right? think I've read that
Yeah.
right. And and that's where hopefully bands are going to go again, because I love storytelling, like especially for
Yes,
music.
same.
And it's
Yeah.
like some of the most like some of the best songs in the world, like we're talking classic songs, are stories. As cheesy as some of them are, um, you know, Bon Jovi, for instance, um, a lot of his songs are stories. Um,
Yeah.
and some of well, a lot of them, but one of them in particular, was huge. Um,
Yeah.
and you listen to that, and like, not saying go to do that kind of like that cheesiness or anything, but some of those songs, like Queen songs, they always had some kind of story going through them.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping coming back with, like, in that respect, those storytelling songs. um
Yeah. I think it's more immersive, and it gives people a chance to escape. And I think when there's certain songs that are quite dark and can be intimidating to listen to sometimes, when you have like a sort of like an overarching theme of a story, or
yeah,
it's a character, it for me it gives me more of a safe space of like, oh, it's I'm gonna just delve into this universe and feel it in this setting. Um, that was definitely what was in my head when we wrote Nula. This album also does actually have a concept, but this is more of a investigative mystery, kind of mysterious concept. There's a lot of hints to an event throughout the album when you listen to it. And on the vinyl, there's a bit extra on it.
okay, cool.
So
Definitely gonna have to get the vinyl now
I mean,
then.
I'm basically trying to sell you the vinyl.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
everyone, even if you haven't got a record player, buy the vinyl.
I know I don't actually have a record player either, but it's something I need to get because
I've got four, so I think I've got too many. Well, no, I haven't got too many. I need two, definitely, behind me, and there is a mixer between them as well. It's
I
like
was going to say, like, you are
proper
sounding
DJ setup.
the vinyl king.
Well, I wouldn't go down as far as King. I know people
Right,
really do.
okay.
Um,
Vinyl
but
prints.
but yeah, no, I was a scratch DJ in a new metal band.
Oh,
So
sick.
it's from that era. These I got these when I was 20. Yeah, my 21st birthday. I got these instead of driving lessons.
You were
Um,
right. I want the turntables.
yeah, and I eventually learned to drive as well, because obviously you got to move these things around.
Driving's boring though.
It is incredibly boring, but I'm stuck with it now. But I
Kind of
still
need
got
to
these,
though.
and they're still working. They're
Yeah,
the original ones.
good.
Great. So, and I still use. I haven't used them in this cold snap because it's been absolutely freezing out in this little room. So,
Right,
but
okay.
back to it soon. But you guys are actually out on tour in February, and you're going across Europe. I've got the dates in front of me. You're going to Eindhoven, Antwerp, Cologne, Munich, Vienna, Prague, Leipzig, Berlin, Hamburg, Harlem, Paris, and then you're back in the UK, playing Southwest Festival, or SWX.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
that's a venue, isn't it?
SWG3
That's it.
in Glasgow. Yeah.
And you've got, yeah, London, O2 Kentish and O2 Forum, Kentish Town. It's a great venue, that one. Um,
Like,
it's huge. I was going to say, are you ready for this? Manchester, O2, and Glasgow as well. Um, and yeah, I mean, like, and then you go into festival season after that, I
yeah.
suppose. So you had a couple of festivals listed on your website. And I'm guessing that's sort of as and when you get announced on those, you announce
Yeah.
those.
There's a few that we've still to announce. There's one UK festival we've still to announce, and we've got a few more European ones. Nice festivals, nice slots. Le- Less than last year,
Yep.
but higher up and more money.
Yeah.
Like that's what keeps us. We can't do this without fees. Like
Yeah.
so,
I'll pay rent with exposure.
exactly. And I think like that's tough. Like when you do get to a band with our level that get offered bigger festivals and still not great fees, like you do still need to be business savvy and like,
Yeah.
well, is this worth coming home losing money?
Yeah.
Well, or we'll take this one because we're going to actually come home with money.
Yeah.
Um, But that's a case by case. Like if it's something that you're going to lose money, but you're fucking supporting Slipknot, like you're going to be like, right, fair enough, let's
Yeah,
do it.
that's exposure that can pay the rent.
Right, exactly, exactly. So you do have to like do case by case.
Yes, no, definitely. I remember that sort of pain because I was the sort of manager of the band as well I was in and all that kind of stuff. So I know, yeah, I did too many things in that thing. I was booking the shows, managing EKs and whatnot, and trying to manage myself as well. So it's kind of, I know what that's like, and I know how many offers bands get every day, no matter what size you are, and people trying to get you to pay for free. Good luck to them.
Yeah,
Um,
like
but it's not always feasible.
no,
So
like we've done it for years, and but we have an incredible agent, and we've got an incredible manager, and they they're on it.
good,
We trust
excellent,
them. Like they know what's going on.
good, excellent.
So we're
That's
a good
that's
team.
what you need.
Yeah,
Take the pressure off yourselves as well. So
exactly.
um,
We need it.
exactly, and you got Unpeople and RTO supporting you on that tour as well,
Yes,
which great. And People, a great little band they are.
they're
Gosh,
amazing.
band, but they're a great band. And yeah, I mean that tour looks amazing. I was just looking at the dates again. And yeah, I mean, obviously tickets are available now.
Yep,
You can get
yeah,
to your website,
yeah,
vukovi.co.uk,
yeah.
everyone. And
There's a couple close to selling out now, and
okay, good.
I'm hoping like when the album drops,
Yes.
still nearly a month, nearly a month to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, do you know what? We've not thought about the tour much because we've had the record to concentrate on, but we have started rehearsing and what a feeling,
Nice.
like playing the new tracks and incorporating them into the set with obviously our back catalogues and trying to pick what to drop and what to put in, and it feels good.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna see if I'm around for the London date because that's my closest.
Oh, that honestly, like, more than
Um,
welcome.
and I'll see if I can. Yeah, I have to check with because I've got this new role at work, so I'm just trying to be good there.
All
Uh,
right.
but we'll see. We'll see. I definitely want to catch you guys live because I've missed you a few times over the
Oh,
years.
sick. I will.
But yeah, no, I'm looking at those dates. I'd love to go to like because you're playing in Prague on my birthday, and I'm like,
Oh,
I love Prague. Um,
that venue is sick as well.
yeah.
Oh no, that's Prague. I'm thinking of Harlem. Harlem's amazing as
Oh,
well,
okay.
and I'm near Amsterdam. But I love Prague.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite like cities I've been to ever.
Yeah,
And yeah, I say, I never know. I am off on my birthday, so I might
I just feel like why not? You live once.
exactly. I don't know if my wife and kids will. They might encourage me. They might want me out of the house. I don't know. We'll
Like,
find
bring the
out.
wife and get a babysitter for a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah, I could do that. That's a
Just leave
really good
loads of food
idea.
out for the kids, and I'm
I'll,
sure they'll be fine.
I'll say it's your idea. That might work. Uh, um, but cool. I've got a couple of questions left for you, Janine, if that's all right, and I can let you get on with the rest of your
Yeah,
evening as you close in on your album being released in just shy of 3 hours. And you've got a storm coming in as well.
massive. Well, do you know the first when we first turned up to Texas to record the album at the
Mm,
machine shop, there was a huge storm, and Machine was like, "This don't happen that often." I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
There's something in the air."
yeah, there is something in there. Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be good for you. It's gonna be good. Um, what I want to find out from you, Janine, are your three most pivotal albums in your life, if you can pinpoint them, or just general records. So the
Right.
first record you heard when that made you kind of want to sing. It doesn't have to be like the best, like your most favorite album of said artist.
Yeah.
But like the one when you were younger, you heard this singer, you heard this band, you're like, oh, I want to do that.
Um, I think the first album I listened to, which made me really like want to be in a band and like think like, oh, I don't like because I love pop, like
Yeah,
like just pop, which is incredible, and I've always loved pop. But when I heard the hybrid theory, I was like, oh shit, like you've just opened a whole new world to me. And at that point, I was also listening to like Evanescence, the album with Bring Me to Life, My Immortal,
yeah,
Going Under. Like that was game changing for me as well. those two for sure. Um, and actually, gonna say Christina Aguilera stripped.
Okay. Yep.
What an album!
Yeah.
Vocally, like that, I could. There's so many. That's my. I would say that's my childhood, but like,
Yeah.
how it's so hard to just like pinpoint your influences
Yeah.
in me. It's so hard.
No, it is. I always, because it's one of my ending questions, and I always ask it just to know what kind of era those people are from, like where you're from.
Yeah,
Obviously, Hybrid Theory for that album was a gateway for so many people. Like it makes me feel old because I was 21 when that came out,
yeah,
and I was too cool for school at that point. I was into
right.
metal, but I was into like
Did like new metal,
proper new
right?
metal. You know, your
What kind? What like?
Corn, Deftones,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
that
cool
sort
shit.
of era. So the sort of like 96, 97 onwards. Um, and over the years, obviously being a DJ, playing rock clubs, stuff like that, a lot of people ask for multiple tracks off that album, and you just kind of appreciate what that's done for the scene, if you will, or for the industry within the metal industry or the rock industry, and how it's one of the bands that have kind of kept that, I guess, kept it alive to a certain degree. You know, when certain things go stagnant over the years, like when metal went stagnant, grunge came out, and then grunge went stagnant, and we kind of
Yeah,
got the new metal phase, and then we got
yeah,
the emo phase, and all that kind of stuff. And they're one of the bands, like, despite their sort of like obviously the tragedy of Chester taking his own life and stuff like that, but they've come back as well. But they stayed around. At the time, I thought they were going to be fly by night. I thought they were a kind of pop band, um very much label, I guess, not label put label driven, I suppose. The amount of exposure they were getting,
hmm
all that kind of stuff. And I was like, kind of, I thought I was savvy in the way of the record industry at that young age. Um, I'm happy to admit now I knew nothing.
Oh, do
Um,
you know what? It just shows you like remember was it not Paramore's first album came out and it got
yeah,
fucking annihilated by press and like it just shows you it's great when you get good reviews obviously but like it really sometimes people are wrong
yeah,
like that you can't control art you cannot control
no,
when you really get down to it, like you can manipulate it as much, to a certain extent online and social media and push bands to the point that money's coming out their arse. But like you just there's you just can't you
yeah,
cannot manipulate
no,
people's how they feel about a piece of art.
exactly that. I mean, it was the same with System of a Down. Their first album got absolutely panned. I think it was a legendary Kerrang
Uh,
panned, and they've owned it since, I guess. But they gave it like 1K, I think it was. And then you look at the house like big they got, and I think even Terrorizer, like, I think they had a one-line review. I remember it. I memorized it because it was like, "Come
right,
back, Cold Chamber, all is forgiven."
right,
And,
okay,
and I was just like, "It's just like brilliant," and because I love that first album of theirs, I
yeah,
thought it was great, and it just got universally panned, and everyone was like, "Oh no, they're rubbish, rubbish," and then they bring out absolute mammoth albums from,
yeah,
and then people start to appreciate the tracks off that album as well,
yeah,
P and War and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, back then I was very much like, because I bought Hybrid Theory and Infest,
right,
Papa Roach album at the same time, and like, again, I just thought pop band. I thought it was just gonna fly by, but no, both of those bands stuck around.
well, I don't know for like this is just my experience because as I said, I was just into pop, and my
Yeah,
mum loved George Michael and Whitney Houston, and all the fucking the classics. But for me, that was the gateway to heavy music.
yeah,
Like that was my introduction. So, you'll get people that they love their extreme shit,
yeah,
and they'll think, oh, that's pop, but not to me. Like that was the perfect introduction to me because now I listen to a lot more heavier music and it made me want to delve into another layer of heaviness in other sub genres. So
no,
I
it's
think
great.
bands like Linkin Park are are only positive for that, a metal scene
Yeah,
rock.
no, definitely, definitely, and it's great that that was your sort of like your entrance to the heavy sound.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's so many people, and it's purely the generation of people I'm speaking to because I'm just like, oh, you're that young.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it's great. Evanescence as well, not to discount, and Christina Aguilera as well. I remember all those. I grew up in a house of pop music lovers, so
yeah.
I like throughout the years, just my mum was obsessed with the Beatles, stuff like that, and it's just like my sister was very much into the kind of the new romantic 80s stuff and all that. And then, but my brother was a DJ, mobile DJ, but like pop music, top 40, constant.
Yeah.
And I'm influenced by all of that if I look back at it, and so much that my wife just bought me an Elton John album, but it came with
Nice.
a signed print from the man himself. So yeah, I can't argue with that.
That's a pretty good gift.
um, but finally,
I mean, Elton John.
oh, go on.
No, I just said Elton John is a G.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely, definitely. But no, I was going to say finally, last question. What are your hobbies away from music? So when you,
So I do a lot. I do a lot of painting. I did paint this album when I was writing the album. I was doing therapy alongside it, and it was quite intense. So I would paint after every session. I got 12 sessions. So that I started to get my love back for painting.
nice,
Um, and I love fashion. I'm a massive fan of fashion. I also write some music for film and TV.
nice.
I've done some really cool things with that as well. And to be honest, I like having connect. I have a great circle of people around me, and I, I'm definitely, now that I'm on the better side of mental health,
Yeah,
I've I appreciate those connections more and people around me. And you can't get that time back. And I think making memories, and with Vukovi, you need to have that time away
yes,
because it will eat you alive.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, there's a few things that I want to do that I've always been wanting to do, and it's something that I'd like to think I'll start this year. Other avenues of um, things that I love.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
awesome, awesome stuff. Well, Janine, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Uh, Good luck with the album, which is out as of time of recording in just under 3 hours, everyone. But it'll be out by the time this comes out. So go listen to the album. It is called My God Has Got a Gun. It is out on Sharp Tone Records, all formats, digital, physical, vinyl, CD. Buy the t-shirt, buy the vinyl, everything. Vukovi.co.uk. They got a tour coming up as well. Um, UK and European tour. So anyone who's listening, check out their website, go to the shows, buy the music, buy the merch, support the bands. Thank you very much, Janine.
thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Pleasure.